There are plenty mega rich people on this planet. There are countless records in the world pertaining to their assets and the wealth. The entire world is aware that they are extremely wealthy. However, there are many more wealthy people in the world who are unaware of their wealth. There are the world's hidden treasures, perhaps due to issues with the source of their wealth. It could also be due to their reputation. For some reason, no one is aware of their wealth. In this video, we attempt to discuss 15 of the world's wealthiest people with the most hidden wealth. Number 15. Isabel Dos Santos, $3.4 billion. The House of Saud controls a staggering amount of wealth with an estimated fortune of $1.4 trillion. The royal family of Saudi Arabia has assumed the majority of its wealth through the extraction of oil, which has also helped the country gain significant political influence and sway on the international stage. The current king of Saudi Arabia, Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, is worth more than $1 billion on his own. But like many others on our list, the family's wealth is dispersed for a wide, out of sight of prying eyes. Dos Santos may no longer be Africa's richest woman. Angola's new president revoked all major government contracts that the former leader had given to Dos Santos. Number 14. Hans Adam II, $4 billion. Who hasn't fantasized about being European royalty with billions of dollars at their disposal and a catchy title like Prince something or other? That dream has come true for Hans Adam II, Prince Liechtenstein. He is one of Europe's last remaining monarchs, and now at the age of 72, he is in charge of his family's bank, investment portfolio, places and real estate, and of course, its 400-year-old art collection. Not too shabby. Number 13. Jong Un, $5 billion. Seeing as how his family has amassed a fortune by selling off its country's resources, engaging in cyber warfare and using slaves, you won't find Jong Un on Forbes' list, though he is far from the richest man in the world. Jong Un has an estimated $5 billion at his disposal, which he likes to use to buy expensive foreign cheese and liquors. But most of his country languishes with little food and no electricity. Number 12. Dawood Ibrahim, $6.7 billion. We have Tony Soprano in the United States. Dawood Ibrahim is a well-known figure in India. Ibrahim is a crime lord who runs a D-Company organized crime syndicate. He founded the company in Mumbai in the 1970s and has assumed nearly $7 billion in wealth as one of the world's richest drug dealers. Ibrahim has a lengthy criminal record. He is one of the most wanted criminals in the world, accused of murder, terrorism, drug trafficking, and assassination. Number 11. Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, $15 billion. If it hasn't become abundantly clear, these guys in the Middle East know how to soak up cash and resources. Speaking of wealth, the president of United Arab Emirates, Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, is worth $15 billion. He has been the president of UAE since 1971 and has been instrumental in opening up the country to the West. The UAE is now a hive of business and political activity, with the president earning a sizable salary. Number 10. Zine al-Abidine Ben Ali, $17 billion. We all give you a fair warning. This list is heavy on Middle Eastern politicians and dictators who fell from power during the 2011 Arab Spring. One of them is Zine al-Abidine Ben Ali. Ben Ali, the former president of Tunisia from 1987 to 2011, is said to have $17 billion in assets. Like other dictators, Ben Ali played Tunisia by soaking away billions from himself, much of which has since been returned to the country's citizens following his demise. Number 9. Hassanal Bolkiah, $20 billion. Many of us are grateful to be able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment, but the Sultan of Brunei, Hassanal Bolkiah, owns a mansion with over 1,800 rooms. His $20 billion fortune stems from oil and gas sales and development. To give you an idea of the kind of obscene wealth we are dealing with, the guy owns over 600 Rolls-Royce automobiles. Number 8. Bhumibol Adulyadej, $30 billion. Thailand's King Bhumibol died in the fall of 2016, but we've included him on our list because of his enormous wealth and the fact that most people are unaware of how wealthy he was, during which time he assumed his 30 billion fortune. The majority of that money came from real estate and property investments, with much of it increasing as Bangkok has grown into a major international hub in recent decades. Number 7. Ali Abdullah Saleh, $30 billion to $62 billion. If you've had your fill of wealthy Middle Eastern politicians, you are in luck. Ali Abdullah Saleh, Yemen president for more than 3 decades, fits the bill. One interesting fact about him is that he never finished elementary school and instead joining the army at a young age, eventually rising to the rank of colonel. He, like other Middle Eastern leaders, was deposed during the Arab Spring in 2011, but not before amassing tens of billions of dollars for his personal fortune. Number 6. Hosni Mubarak, $70 billion. The Arab Spring claimed another victim in the form of Hosni Mubarak, who was deposed after serving as Egypt's 4th president from 1981 to 2011. Prior to entering politics, he served as an officer in Egypt Air Force. Now, at the age of 89, he lives off the roughly $70 billion he assumed during his reign. In 2011, an Egyptian prosecutor wrote to American media outlets claiming that the Mubarak family had far more money and assets than anyone realized. According to the prosecutor, the total amount is up to $700 billion. Number 5. Bashar al-Assad, $122 billion. Most of us have heard of Bashar al-Assad as a result of ongoing crisis and disaster in Syria. Assad is yet another long-serving Middle Eastern dictator who has essentially used his country as a piggy bank. While official estimates place his fortune at around $1.5 billion, others believe he has far more than that. Assad's fortunes, like Mubarak's, are tough to be hidden all over the place and total more than $120 billion. Number 4. Muammar Gadaffi, $200 billion. Muammar Gadaffi was Libya's leader before he was killed and dragged through the streets. And like so many others on our list, he was deposed in 2011 during the Arab Spring. But Gaddafi is unique in that he alleged possessed enormous wealth, estimated to be worth up to $200 billion. You can obviously make a lot of money when you are in charge of entire generation. Gaddafi did just that, hiding his wealth on secret bank accounts, real estate, and corporate investments all over the world. Number 3. Vladimir Putin, $200 billion. Donald Trump may be wealthy, but his fortune comes nowhere close to a man he appears to admire greatly. Vladimir Putin. Since 1999, Russia's president has served as both president and prime minister. During that time, Putin and other Russian oligarchs have been stealing billions from their country and stashing them all over the world. In recent testimony, Financial Billboard estimated his net worth at $200 billion. That would make him the world's richest man. Number 2. Rothschilds, $350 billion to $2 trillion. The Rothschilds are probably familiar to you, and while some members of family appear on world richest lists, we are including the family on this list because, well, the amount of money it has is a little understand. The family fortune is divided in a variety of ways, but when total, it is estimated to be in the trillions by some. However, it is more likely to be in the $400 billion range. Number 1. The House of Saud, $1.4 trillion. The House of Saud controls a staggering amount of wealth with an estimated fortune of $1.4 trillion. The royal family of Saudi Arabia has assumed the majority of its wealth through the extraction of oil, which has also helped the countries gain significant political influence and sway on the international range. The current king of Saudi Arabia, Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, is worth more than $1 billion on his own. But like many others on our list, the family's wealth is disappeared far and wide, out of sight of prying eyes. That's all for this episode, mate. See you in another luxury episode. Have a great day.